If you're looking for the simplest way to make money online using AI and Pinterest, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through a very beginner-friendly business model that doesn't require paid ads, doesn't require fancy tech skills, and doesn't require you to be on camera. This isn't some complicated funnel or system. It's a simple process that focuses on organic traffic and consistency. And the goal of this video isn't to promise anything crazy. The goal is to help you understand how this works, so you can start building something real and make your first income online. Now, before we get into the steps, let me set expectations clearly. This is not a get-rich-quick method. You're not going to go from $0 to $10,000 in a week. That's not what this is. What this is a simple online business that compounds over time. So let me explain the whole business model in a really simple way, because it's honestly not complicated once you see it laid out. The idea is basically this. You use Pinterest to get traffic. You send that traffic to a blog you own, and then you make money from the people visiting that blog. That's the core of it. Everything else is just small steps inside that. You start by setting up a Pinterest business account. Then you look at what people are already searching for. You pick one topic to focus on. You write blog posts around that topic. You create pins for those posts. And Pinterest does what it's really good at, which is sending traffic over time. Once that traffic starts coming in consistently, you apply for AdSense. Ads get placed on your site, and you start earning money from the visitors. You're not running ads, you're not selling anything, and you're definitely not chasing clients. It's a very quiet, behind-the-scenes kind of business. The first step is just creating a Pinterest business account. And this part is honestly super straightforward. It's free, it takes a few minutes, and the reason you want a business account instead of a personal one is because it gives you access to data. You get analytics, you get trends, and you get insights into what's actually working. And that matters a lot because the biggest mistake people make with content is guessing. Pinterest doesn't reward guessing. It rewards relevance. And a business account helps you see what people are searching for and what kind of content Pinterest is already pushing. Once your account is set up, the next thing you do is look at Pinterest trends. And this is where a lot of people mess up. They start writing about topics they personally like without ever checking if anyone else is actually interested. Pinterest literally tells you what people are searching for. You can see what's trending right now, what's seasonal, and what topics have long-term demand. So instead of inventing ideas from scratch, you're just paying attention to what's already working. You're validating ideas before you ever create content, which saves you a ton of time and frustration. After that, you pick one niche, and this part is more important than most beginners realize. You don't want to talk about everything. Pinterest works best when your account and your blog are clearly about one thing. That could be something like personal finance, health, productivity, home organization, lifestyle, relationships, or anything else that people consistently search for. The goal isn't to be original. The goal is to be useful. You want a topic that people are already interested in and that you can realistically create content around for a long time without running out of ideas. Once you've got your niche, then you create a blog, and this really doesn't need to be complicated. You're not building some huge brand right away. You're building an asset. A simple WordPress blog is more than enough. The reason the blog matters is because it's something you actually own. Pinterest is just the traffic source. The blog is where the value lives. That's where ads show up. That's where content sits long-term. And that's where everything compounds over time. Even if Pinterest changed tomorrow, you'd still own that blog. Now this is where AI really changes everything, especially if you're just getting started. Writing blog posts used to feel intimidating for a lot of people. You'd sit there staring at a blank page, wondering what to write, how long it should be, or how to even start. With AI, that friction pretty much disappears. You can literally open ChatGPT, ask it for keyword ideas, pick one, and then ask it to help you create a blog post around that topic. You're not sitting there writing from scratch, you're guiding the process. That doesn't mean you just copy and paste and publish without thinking. I'd always recommend reading through it, understanding what's written, and making small edits so it actually sounds human and makes sense. Once the blog content is up, the next part is creating pins. And this is where Pinterest actually comes into play. A lot of people overthink this part, but it's really just about creating simple visuals that point people to your blog posts. Each pin is basically a doorway. Someone sees it on Pinterest, clicks it, and lands on your article. That's it. You don't need fancy designs, you don't need professional photos, and you definitely don't need to be a designer. With tools like Canva and AI image generators, you can put together clean, readable pins pretty quickly. Pinterest cares way more about clarity than creativity. If the pin clearly matches what someone is searching for, it'll get shown. What's nice about pins is that you're not limited to just one per blog post. You can create multiple pins for the same article, each one slightly different, and Pinterest will test them over time. Some will do better than others, and that's normal. You're not trying to get everything perfect. You're just giving Pinterest more chances to understand who your content is for and when to show it. Now, this is the part where patience matters, because Pinterest traffic doesn't usually explode overnight. In the beginning, it might feel slow. You might post pins and not see much happening at first, and that's completely normal. Pinterest needs time to collect data. But once it starts figuring things out, something interesting happens. Older pins start picking up traction. Blog posts you wrote weeks or even months ago start getting clicks. Traffic begins to stack instead of reset every day like it does on social media. And this is why Pinterest is so different from platforms like Instagram or TikTok. On those platforms, if you stop posting, everything drops. On Pinterest, content can keep working even when you're not actively posting. That's where the long-term part really kicks in. You're building a library of content and pins that keeps sending traffic in the background. As that traffic grows, the next step is monetization, and this is where AdSense comes in. Once your blog reaches the basic requirements, you apply for AdSense, and Google places ads on your site automatically. From that point on, you earn money when people visit your blog and see or interact with those ads. You're not selling anything. You're not answering customer emails. You're not doing calls. The site earns based on traffic alone. What's important to understand here is that the income usually starts small, and that's okay. The goal at the beginning isn't to replace your income overnight. The goal is to prove to yourself that this works. Your first few dollars matter because they show you that traffic can turn into money. From there, it's just a matter of repeating the process. More content, more pins, more traffic. And as traffic grows, income grows with it. This is also where AI really helps with scaling. Once you understand the process, AI makes it easier to create content consistently without burning out. You can brainstorm ideas faster, outline posts quicker, and spend more time improving quality instead of staring at a blank screen. The people who do well with this aren't working non-stop. They're working smart and sticking to the process long enough for it to compound. At the end of the day, this whole model works because it's simple and boring in the best way possible. You're not chasing trends, you're not relying on virality, and you're not depending on one post to succeed. You're building something that grows quietly over time. Pinterest brings the traffic, your blog captures the value, and AdSense turns that traffic into income. And once you understand that loop, everything else becomes much easier to think about and scale. So that's really the whole idea. There's no complicated system here and no secret trick. It's just using Pinterest to bring traffic, using a blog you own to capture that traffic, and using ads to turn it into income over time. It's simple, but it works if you give it time and stay consistent. If this way of making money online makes sense to you, stick around, because in the next videos, I'll break each step down in more detail, from finding the right niches to creating content that actually gets clicks. And if you've got questions, drop them in the comments. I read them and use them to decide what to cover next. If you found this helpful, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.